What's up, friends? It's June, and honestly, I didn't think 2019 was going to go by this fast, but here we are. So, I didn't really know what theme I wanted to go with for this month. I really took a while kind of coming to a decision on what I wanted to do, and I couldn't really come up with anything, so I decided with something that I knew you couldn't really go wrong with, and I figured I wanted to do a spread that would be easy to do for, for people who are starting out with bullet journaling and aren't super comfortable with colors yet. I have a few friends who bullet journal and just prefer having black and white, and that's kind of the theme that we're going to go with for June, which is kind of weird because it's really outside of that summer theme that most people take when they do June setups, but I wanted to go this route. I thought, because I was so stumped, I didn't want to force myself doing something too colorful and not be happy with it. So we are just going to stick with this simple black and white and gray theme, and you can use any type of black brush pen, you can use any type of black marker and black fineliner, This will be very easy. So as you saw, I just took a random brush pen and wrote out June and put some rounded borders around it to add some dimension. And to make those letters pop, we're going to add some gray drop shadows with my Tombow brush pen. And the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add more graphic drop shadows using that same brush pen, and adding a second drop shadow right underneath. And I'm going to kind of do etched shading right underneath the letters to make it more dynamic. So yeah. To do the etching, I decided to take my Fudenosuke pen, my Tombow Fudenosuke pen, and adding that etch shading in. I forgot to say, this is like a weird shout out, but the person who inspired me to kind of default to this black and white theme for this month is my friend Tanya. She is like the master of minimalist black and white spreads. She always complains how she never does any color, but honestly, I love looking at her spreads. There's just some satisfaction that comes with seeing an all kind of grayscale type of black and white spread. And now we've moved on, because I've talked too much, now we've moved on to our month at a glance for June. Now I'm clearly using a Sakura Micron pen. Sorry, I have to think about that. And what I'm doing is just putting in the grids that I'm going to use that is going to splay out the rest of the month. And as you can see, I'm doing the rounded edges again to carry on the theme of whatever this theme is. Honestly, the theme is just black and white. I need to stop trying to explain it any other way. So if you're wondering what the grid sizes are, they're five grids across, and then 6 grids vertical. And to kind of keep it all within 5 rows, I decided to put Saturday and Sunday at the end of the row. So instead of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So the first and the second day of the beginning of June all end up in one row, which saves me the 6th row that you usually see on the calendar, because you'd see the 1st of June up on a Saturday sitting alone on one row, and then the 30th sitting alone in the last row if you look at a calendar. Anyway, this is like my strategy. You'll see how it works out. And what I'm doing, I'm just kind of adding dashes on days that aren't in June. And what I'm doing is I'm taking my gray Fudenosuke pen and adding some type of border where my numbers for the days are gonna go. This way it just doesn't look so empty. I love black and white and I love simplicity and all, but using gray to add some dynamic designs, and I guess just not a pop of color, but I guess to make your page look more alive makes all the difference. And as you can see, I'm doing drop shadows again. I love doing drop shadows. Honestly, it kind of just makes everything pop on your page. I know I talk about like things popping off your page, but it makes a lot of difference when you add drop shadows on anything, whether it's a box, lettering. It really just adds kind of like a little more pizzazz to whatever you're putting on the paper. Honestly, I should have been using a ruler for this part because of how crooked that drop shadow is, but you only live once. And I guess a little more organic lines looks really nice for me. I prefer that at least. Sometimes when the lines are too straight, I get weirdly antsy about it because it just looks too pristine. So I like kind of freehanding a lot of my lines sometimes, but for the sake of this video, because I know some people can't do straight lines without a ruler, that's why I decided to incorporate the ruler for a majority of this video, actually. But I freehand the letters. I try to freehand the borders as much as possible, but again, I don't want to make you guys feel like you need to freehand everything. So, and I wanted this to be a video that would be easy for, you know, beginners, for people who don't really want to do anything too crazy with their spreads, but still be creative. So, there we go. I should stop talking. Honestly, I don't know why I'm rambling, but here I am. Now I'm doing my lettering for June. And looks pretty good, similar to the title page, putting that drop shadow, but since I colored in those letters, I wanted them to pop out a little bit more besides just the drop shadow. So in a little bit, I'm actually going to do some edge shading inside the square, and you'll see it'll add a little more, I guess, movement and texture to the page rather than just have everything be black, white, and gray. It'll be black, white, and gray, but not as boring. So in a bit, I'm actually going to be filling in that next box right underneath that June lettering, and it's going to be my to-do box. And I just wanted to let you guys know that. Oh, I completely forgot. I also used my white Pilot gel pen to add some highlights on that lettering, because why not? It looks great. Along with drop shadows, the other thing that you can do to make letters pop, or anything pop, honestly, is just adding highlights. And white highlight on black looks fantastic. It just makes it look, I don't know, it looks great, but you can kind of tell that my white gel pen is dying. So let's just, you know, let that pass. But I'm doing my to-do box right now. I always like adding a extra space to put notable events and things that needs to be done that don't necessarily, you know, they're not as, I don't know how to, I always have trouble describing this part, but basically, like, if you have a dentist appointment, if you have something to just note that don't really belong in any particular category, so I like to add that space there so I can put it on the side if I don't feel like it's relevant to put within the calendar or in any of my, I guess, other spreads. So there it is. So these next spreads, this 2-pager spread is going to be my, I guess, my giant to-do list. essentially. So I am breaking it up into 3 parts. One is going to be cleaning, one is going to be travel, and the next one right underneath will be projects. So the one that I'm doing right now is clean. I decided because I always have trouble fitting when I do big kind of block letters. I always have trouble adding everything into the page. So what I thought would be cool is taking all of the vowels out for the letters and leaving the consonants in. And I thought that was just like, you'll see after the spread is done. I thought it came out pretty cool. I think there's like a cute cartoony kind of edgy aspect to the fact that I took away the vowels and I did this like drop shadow block letters. And for the cleaning spread, so I'm on this kind of like 2-month long cleaning spree with my room. I graduated. There's a lot of things that needs to get thrown out, recycled, and just moved out of my room essentially. And so I'm actually making sure that I'm tracking that and listing out the things that I need to do. So I have 3 categories, 1 being clothes, 2 being digital, and the last one being miscellaneous. And the goal is that it'll help me, I guess, track my decluttering, and also remind myself how to properly recycle. I am an avid recycler, and I know a lot of people aren't aware of recycling programs in their city or wherever they live, but you'd be surprised. There's a specific recycling program for unused electronics or stationery or your pens, and I try to make sure when I do this spring cleaning I'm not just throwing everything out, stuff out into the garbage or just mindlessly throwing stuff into the donation bin, because I do like to upcycle some things and I do like to repurpose things and make sure that a lot of these things are properly recycled. And so for clothes, I want to go through my closet, my dressers, see what I can upcycle, see what I can recycle or resell, and then donate before, I just opt for a donation all at once. The next thing is digital. I want to go through all of my digital channels from social media to email and just clean everything up. And then miscellaneous, I'm like, when I see misc, I always think minuscule, but miscellaneous is for cleaning my car, doing my desk cleanup, and all the other things that don't really fall in the 2 other categories. Okay, this next one is honestly what I'm super duper excited about. So this is my travel kind of tracker spread, to-do list, checklist. It's my travel checklist. Okay, so I am doing a bit of travel. I actually just came back from the West Coast. I traveled all throughout Alaska, and I was in Seattle. I was also in Vancouver just this last 2 weeks, but I'm actually going away in, I believe, 20-ish days. I'm going to Australia. And I'm super excited because it's my first time going to Australia. If you don't know, I am in a long-distance relationship, and my boyfriend's Australian. And this is going to be the first time I'm going to be in his home country. And I'm really, really excited. And I'm obviously going to bring you guys along. I have my vlogs ready to edit for my last few travel adventures, but I'm gonna document this one as well. But to make this, I guess, checklist nice and cute, I added kind of like little graphic cartoons of Australia and Canada and like a little dotted line connecting Toronto to Sydney, because that's where I'm going to be going. Although I am going to be traveling all throughout Australia, I'm going to Sydney, Perth, and Melbourne, and I'm just listing out things that I need to kind of do, like apply for my ETA, also make sure I print my insurance, and other things like book my appointments, like my doctor's appointment before I leave the country. I also have several other things that I need to do, like visit at the bank. So this is just my reminder because I am a master procrastinator and I need to make sure this is all done, because even though 20 days seems like a long time, it is going to just, be gone in a blink. So the next and last and final part for this 2-pager spread is my projects spread. Now, I am actually part of several projects, and I'm really excited. I can't really say much besides, I guess, one of the projects is my YouTube. I'm doing a kind of overhaul, branding wise. I just want to kind of explore other things in terms of just how I want my YouTube to look, the content that I want to produce, and so I'm kind of starting the planning process for that and what I want to do. It's hard, but it's going to be fun. And then my other projects are going to be NDA. I can't really tell you, but you'll see in the future. It's going to be super exciting. And I split the two projects, so I have my YouTube, and then I have other. I put other because, again, I don't want to show you guys what it is. And this is what this spread looks like, and this next spread is going to be my workout spread. So before I move on and talk about my workout spread, the reason why I put all those three sections together is because I always have trouble following multiple checklists when they're not put in the same place. So it's easier for me to see a big overview of everything, and that's why I put everything in that 1-2-pager spread. And the one thing that I'm okay separating is my workout spread. So actually, if you watched my previous video, my previous plan or setup video, I actually had a very kind of specific workout spread in that setup, and I kind of want to carry it over but with a different layout. Now, the way I do my workout tracker / spread is it's less of a kind of like a checkbox tracker and more of a more comprehensive tracker, in a sense that I like to write down my workouts, and I like to kind of write down how I feel, what I did, if my muscles were sore, what I ate. And that's why I gave a very significant amount of space in between both sides of the tracker. So I actually split it into 10 days because I'm actually leaving on the 20th. So that's what I did. I split the days, and I would just draw a line at each day and write down whatever I'm doing for that day. So far, working out is great, and it's been really, really fun. I've been pretty I lost 10 pounds. I don't really know where I'm going with this, but, it's been going really, really well. And yeah. So this next one, I know I've been talking about my workout spread, and I'm working on this other spread, but this is actually just a filler spread. I always like to doodle. If you've watched any of my setup videos, you know I love to doodle. And so I decided to do a just happy to be here spread. It's kind of my new motto. I'm just kind of filled with happiness doing anything and everything as long as I'm learning, seeing, discovering. And it's been fun. And I drew a little sketch of Seattle and a little, I guess it's a little weird or not the best sketch of the Alaskan mountains, but I tried, and I drew myself a cute little drawing of myself in my bright red beret and my bright red jacket. So now we're just moving on to the weekly spread. And again, we're going with simplicity here, something I want you guys to be able to do. I'm taking a different brush pen this time because I actually realized the other brush pen that I was using initially bled through the paper. And if you're still curious what that brush pen was, it was like a $1 black brush pen from Daiso that I picked up while I was in Seattle. It's an amazing brush pen. I just didn't realize it would bleed through the paper, and so I went back with my Zig Brushables to outline the letterings. I'm going with the same block letters for the days and doing that same etched shading. I'm also using my Fudenosuke pen now to do the border outlines because I just realized I really like using the Fudenosuke. The tip of the Fudenosuke, even though it is very, very flexible because it is a calligraphy pen, it's very opaque. It doesn't kind of skip and it doesn't bleed. And if you are just delicate enough, it'll not, I guess, write like a calligraphy pen. Sorry, that was my phone. But it won't write like a calligraphy pen if you're just careful enough when you're using it. So adding in some black drop shadow in that page, and closely after, I'm taking my gray Tombow brush pen and just adding some more kind of extra stuff inside the boxes for the days, because again, I don't want anything to look too pristine, so there's that. And that's pretty much it for my June setup. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is a very quick overview. If you want to check out more of my bullet journal stuff, follow me on Instagram at Khela Ariana. And yeah, I'm super excited for this month. Unfortunately, I won't be doing a setup for July because I am actually not here for it. But I'll try and do something bullet journal related for July. It just won't be a setup video. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun. This is a very simple spread for me. And I hope you also like it. If you recreate it, let me know. Tag me on Instagram. And that's it. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace out.